Hello, welcome back to another video, people. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Make sure you're smashing the likes and subscribing if you're new. We're trying to reach 1K subscribers before the end of the season. And unfortunately, very unfortunately, West Ham United play tomorrow. So my weekend is already ruined. But yeah, 3 p.m. tomorrow, we face Bournemouth at home. How fun. I think the last time we beat Bournemouth at home was 2 years ago. Well, apart from the Carabao Cup game this season. In the league, I mean. What was the game last year? I don't even remember what happened. I think it was a draw last year, but I don't really remember what happened. Yeah, it was a draw. Calvin Phillips and Zuma made that mistake, and I think we equalised with a dodgy pen, Ward Prowse pen. One of the worst games of last season, but there's also that as well. But yeah, this year, Bournemouth are even better. We're even worse. So you kind of know what's gonna happen. You kind of know what's gonna happen. I know Bournemouth are in bad form. They're in bad form. They've been in bad form the last 6 games. They were quite comfortably in the European places in January. Um, so they probably need to make a couple of tweaks and stuff like that. I've watched them against Brentford. I don't know how they didn't win that game. I'll be real, but at the end of the day, Brentford put the ball in the back of the net, and they haven't. They've got some really good players. I think Semenyo has been the best left-sided player all season. Uh, Justin Kluivert's been one of the best tens this season. Lewis Cook and Ryan Christie showing again that they're two of the most underrated players in the Premier League. Senesi was doing well before he got injured. Now it's Sabani and Hoyson. Sabani's been playing well all season. Milos Kerkez obviously linked with the move away. They haven't really got a right back, so Lewis Cook has been playing there a couple of times as well. James Hill has filled in. Like they've just had players that filled in that position, but they seem to be doing well with what they have. They actually haven't spent that much. They haven't invested that much. Their squad doesn't look that different to the way it was, But I feel like Bournemouth already really doing the building blocks at the start of their project. I hate using that word, but you know what I mean. Like building that team that can finish in Europe year in year out and try and challenge for like a cup or something. Like I don't see why they can't. I hope they get Europe. I just hope they don't win against us tomorrow, but I do hope they get Europe. I do hope they get Europe. I would love to see a team like Bournemouth, get into Europe because they haven't been in Europe before. They've never been in Europe, and to see a team like that get into Europe, it's just a testament to how good like the new ownership has done. That everyone's on the same wavelength as well, and that anything is possible. Anything is possible if you put your mind to it. And I've been really impressed with their players, their style of play. They don't they're not they play out from the back at times, but they're attacking, but they're not like naive. They have the ability to go direct as well. And I feel like for us, from our perspective, because Iraola sometimes and very occasionally, I've seen it happen against us a couple of times. He does like to slow the game down a lot more away from home. So I do have a feeling that at best we'll only get a draw from this. I think what's going to happen is they're going to approach the game to slow the game down a bit, but still attack us. They're still going to try and press us. They're still going to put us under pressure, like they did against Newcastle and Tottenham. Don't know how they didn't win against Tottenham either. Completely outplayed them, and then then Kepa does what Kepa does. Probably he's their worst player to be completely honest. Against Newcastle, that was one of the biggest demolishings I've seen, the biggest one-sided games I've seen throughout the season. Justin Kluivert was on something different, and Uatara up front as well. They've had injuries for a long time, but you don't hear them complain. They literally had like 11 injuries or some bullshit like that, and then they had a centre-minute right back and a winger that's never played up front, playing up front. like so, like it is what it is, and they've dealt with it well. I feel like what's going to happen, they're going to approach the game, try and slow the game down, then they're going to realize how shit we actually are when they attack us, and then they're going to get a couple goals, and then they're going to keep slowing the game down, and won't be able to break them down when they eventually sit a bit deeper because they have the ability to do that. They have the players to defend high up the pitch, but also just defend deep because they've got smart defenders. Zabani and Hoyson is like a old school centre back partnership. Like their chemistry is unmatched, and even then, let's say Hoyson does go. Even though I think Zabani's going a bit under the radar here, let's say Hoyson does go. They've got Senesi, and they'll sign someone else as well for depth, someone that could also challenge them too. Their recruitment is brilliant. We already saw against Alkmaar how good Kerkez was. So when we as West Ham fans saw Bournemouth sign Kerkez, we knew what type of player he was going to be. Now, do I think everyone's going to leave? No, no, I don't think. I think Semenyo stays. I think Hoyson may leave, and I think Kerkez maybe. I think Semenyo stays though. I think most of their players will still stay, but I just think they need to, regardless of whether they stay or not, they still need to add to their squad. Um, Unal and Evan Nilsson both get long-term injuries. I'm pretty sure Unal is still injured. He was the guy who scored the free kick against us in the reverse fixture. Somehow they didn't beat us in that fixture as well. It's literally just about being clinical for them. It's just about being clinical because it's not like Evan Nilsson's a bad player or anything, but he's not as clinical as a Solanke was, for example. Imagine Solanke and this Iraola team. Mad. Unbelievable. Um, and that's the only thing they lack is that clinical edge. Someone like a Semenyo, I'm confident in Wan-Bissaka coming up against him, so they might want to play Semenyo on the right instead. I'm confident with Wan-Bissaka coming up against anyone. Uh, we need to drop this five in the back stuff, in my opinion. If we're trying to learn from the Wall situation, I think we're fucked no matter what midfield we pick anyway. But we need to stop this five in the back stuff. Go four in the back. We'll go three in possession. Play wingers. If Kudus is back for this game, then cool. If you want to play him, play him. We don't really have much of a choice. I would still like to give Guilherme more of a chance than just 45 minutes, but it is what it is. I would say start Fullkrug if he's ready to start. If not, then cool, start Ferguson. And I think everyone's. I don't rate Ferguson. I don't rate the signing, but everyone's piling in on him too much. I don't think any of you have learned your lesson about strikers at West Ham. But we move. I don't think he's good enough anyway. But cool. My whole point is, if you're going to sign someone like him, especially in January when we need a fucking striker, is have an option to buy in case he does do well. This is why I literally said when we signed him, it's a lose-lose situation. But we still need to have a presence up front regardless. If not, then start Fullkrug up front and then take him off when time is needed. We need to see other players step up. There's only so much of a reliance when we can just see Jared Bowen being our only goal scorer at some point. That literally, if Bowen doesn't score, no one's scoring. That is literally the story of our life. Someone like a Paquetá, more press. If I see them starting in this game, they're going to have to play a lot better than they did against Wolves because that was 0 out of 10s between the two of them. Neither of them were good enough. And people can say, "Oh, it's because they both played together. There was no one there, bro." I'm not confident in Alvarez either. When Alvarez came on, it didn't fucking make a difference. It didn't make a bloody difference. It's not like any of them could retain a ball. It's not like any of them can pass a ball. Paquetá can occasionally pass a ball. Ward-Prowse can pass a ball if he's not being stupid and just be a bit more quicker. But the problem is Ward-Prowse takes way too many touches on the ball. Alvarez thinks he can drive with the ball. He can't drive with the ball. And it's very easy to tackle. Can't dribble. So why is he going up there? He looked like people talk about Declan Rice looking like a centre-back in midfield. This guy looks like a centre-back in midfield. This guy looks like a centre-back. But he looks like a centre-back playing in midfield. And I wouldn't want him at centre-back either because the guy's too aggressive. Speaking of centre-backs, so I said that Kudus and Tadibo had knocks. So cool. So I'll allow you for picking Mavropanos, I guess. Even though we've seen before that even fucking Sufal is better at centre-back than Mavropanos in a back three. Even though he doesn't want to play there. Even though Sufal's a whiny little bitch. He's still better at centre-back than Mavropanos. So if Tadibo can't play this game, fucking play Sufal. I can't believe I'm saying these words. If you're going to go five in the back and you're going to play a centre-back, play fucking Sufal there instead of Mavropanos. I can't believe I just said that. Or if not, go Kilman, Tadibo, Wan-Bissaka in the back three in possession and play a winger at fucking wing-back for fuck's sake. I would like to see Soler get more of a chance, but I don't think he's going to get a chance. And every time he does, he kind of plays in the left-hand role where there's not really much help to him because he can't pass to anyone in behind. So the passing becomes predictable because he has to keep switching it to a side where Jared Bowen is on, which if you play against West Ham, all you have to do is mark out the right-hand side, let West Ham attack down the left because there's too much of a reliance on whether it's Emerson or Skulls to do everything themselves. So tactically, it's just a bit fucked. But to be fair, we don't have the profile players to play this fucking style of play at this point in time. So is what it is what it is. But I think we're going to win the game? No. Do I want to go to the game? No. Am I going to go to the game? Yes, unfortunately. But we'll see what happens. But I just want the season to fucking end. I wanted this season to end in September. I've wanted this season to end for a very long time now. I will celebrate. The biggest celebration of the whole thing, apart from when Lopetegui gets sacked, will be me celebrating that the season is over. I want to get to the summertime. I want to go on holiday, get the fuck out this country, and not think about this fucking club. I don't really want to think about the transfer window, to be honest. But now that I have a YouTube channel, I kind of have to. Make sure to leave a like on the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're new. Social media's over in the description if you want to follow me. The email for the inquiries. For the road to 1K subscribers. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below about the game. And I'll see you guys later.